For months, Donald Trump promised that more bombs would actually force Iran to bend. Instead, the war has become a deadlier, longer, costlier, and more complicated effort. Reports say the United States has burned through much of its stockpile of long-range precision missiles. And just as the questions grow over America's military readiness, Trump says a major announcement on Iran could come within 48 hours. Has military pressure, after all, reached its limit, is the question. And is diplomacy now becoming the only realistic option? Our next report decoding that for you.
We just hit them very hard. And I say we hit them 20-1. Every time they hit us, we're going to hit them 20. We're hitting them very hard.
Wars are not won by speeches. They are won by strategy and by ammunition. For months, the United States has pounded Iranian targets with waves of precision strikes. Tomahawk cruise missiles, ATACMS, precision strike missiles. The objective was clear: increase military pressure, force Tehran back to the negotiating table. But now the battlefield is raising uncomfortable questions. According to Reuters, the United States has used virtually all of its stockpile of long-range precision missiles during the Iran war, including major reductions in ATACMS, precision strike missiles, and roughly half of the Navy's Tomahawk inventory. Officials insist the U.S. military remains capable, but acknowledge mounting pressure on key munitions. That matters because these are not ordinary weapons. They are among America's most advanced precision strike systems. Replacing them takes months, sometimes years. Despite months of bombardment, Iran has continued to launch missiles and drones at U.S. positions, and has repeatedly insisted it will not bow to military pressure or negotiate under coercion. The war has also come at a cost for Washington. 18 American troops have been killed and 624 wounded in Iranian attacks during the conflict, underscoring that the fighting has carried real consequences for the world's most powerful military. Now, Trump's tone appears to be shifting. After weeks of threatening tougher strikes, he says the world will know within 48 hours whether there will be a breakthrough on Iran.
Looks like it's going to be a long night.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. That's what I heard. That's surprising. We're moving along very nicely. We'll find out. We'll know in 48 hours.
Trump's statement boosted stock markets. Oil prices dropped amidst hopes that the Hormuz Strait will open. It has also fueled speculation that Washington is looking for an off-ramp before military costs rise even further. The Pentagon says the United States still has more than enough firepower to defend itself and meet its global commitments. But defense analysts warn that rebuilding precision missile stockpiles after months of high-intensity combat will not happen overnight. The bigger lesson may be this: military power can destroy targets. It cannot always deliver political outcomes. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
For years, America's nuclear strategy was built around one major enemy, and now Washington is preparing for something far more dangerous. A war involving both Russia and apparently also China. According to an NBC News report, the Pentagon is drafting a new nuclear strategy for conflicts where U.S. allies come under some simultaneous pressure from Beijing and Moscow. At the center of this plan is a renewed focus on tactical nuclear weapons. The question is pretty straightforward. Is America now preparing to deter a much larger war, or actually is it preparing to fight one with its trillion-dollar budget? Take a look.
The next world war may not begin with a mushroom cloud. It may begin with a regional conflict. A flashpoint over Taiwan. A confrontation in Eastern Europe, or an attack on a US ally. That is a scenario driving a major rethink inside the Pentagon. According to an NBC News report, US officials are drafting a new classified nuclear strategy designed for situations where American allies come under attack from Russia or China in a regional conflict. The strategy is expected to guide the president on nuclear options during a crisis. One of its key themes is tactical nuclear weapons. Tactical nukes are not the massive warheads designed to destroy entire cities. They are smaller, lower-yield bombs intended for use against military targets such as troop formations, air bases, command centers, and naval forces on the battlefield. Even though they are called tactical, they remain nuclear weapons. Their destructive power can still be many times greater than conventional bombs. The shift reflects growing concern in Washington. China is rapidly expanding its nuclear arsenal. Russia has more than 5,400 nuclear warheads, while the United States has more than 5,000. Together, the two countries account for roughly 90% of the world's nuclear weapons. The new strategy also comes at a politically sensitive moment. President Trump has repeatedly criticized NATO allies, questioned US security commitments, and pushed European nations to spend far more on defense. Those comments have fueled concerns about America's long-term commitments to its allies. This new strategy could therefore serve another purpose. Experts say it could be a move to reassure allies that the United States still has a credible nuclear umbrella if they face aggression from Russia or China. Officials say deterrence remains the objective. The aim is to prevent war, not start one. But history shows that every major arms race begins with the same argument: prepare for war to preserve peace. And that is why this new strategy matters, because it is not simply about bigger weapons. It is about how Washington believes the next global crisis could unfold. Bureau Report, WION, while it is one.
Today, 10 hours ago, Tehran preparing missiles capable of reaching the United States, clerics have said. A senior Iranian cleric said on Friday today that the Islamic Republic was preparing to increase the range of its missiles to 15,000 kilometers or 9,300 miles, which he said would allow them to reach deep into the United States. Moussa Vifard said Americans should experience what it's like to be hit by missiles, and also asserted that Iran's existing missiles could reach Jerusalem. So they're trying to expand this to hit the United States, and this is a threat directly to U.S. soil. Now, in addition to that, take a look. Iranian cleric warns Gulf states of missile attacks over U.S. reliance. And you can see the date on this is August 7, 2026, coming out just 10 hours ago. So this is news coming out just today. And this aligns with what I've been sharing with you for quite some time. We've been hearing the IRGC saying that they want to take this out of the region, extend this across the world, and they want the death of the previous supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, to be avenged on U.S. soil with the shedding of U.S. blood. Now, you can see this was back in June. Witkoff Kushner were on their way to Qatar for Iranian talks as IRGC hardliners demanded that the dead supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, be avenged on American soil. And this is aligning with what we're seeing in just the past 10 hours. In addition to that, we've also heard this is why Donald Trump said Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. And Iran is saying that they have no choice but to get a nuclear weapon. Now, we have heard them say now that they want to get missiles that can reach all the way to the United States to bomb us so that we Americans can feel what it's like to be hit with a missile on U.S. soil. And they're saying they need a nuclear warhead to strap onto that as well. Let me know your thoughts, but this is a direct threat from the IRGC, not to our U.S. military bases in the region, but rather directly to U.S. soil. They said they want Americans to feel what it's like to be hit by a missile.
Tensions are rising again in the Strait of Hormuz. Reports are emerging of a possible missile attack on an oil tanker off the coast of Oman, with footage circulating online appearing to show a bright red glow on the night horizon, followed by what looks like a fire or explosion. But crucial details about the incident remain unclear. There has been no official confirmation so far from the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, U.S. Central Command, Iranian state media, or major international news organizations. The identity of the tanker has also not been established. There are no confirmed details yet on the vessel's flag, ownership, cargo, crew, damage, or possible casualties. Some social media accounts have also claimed that a U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drone may have been shot down over southern Iran. That report has not been independently confirmed either. The latest confirmed maritime incident in the area came on August 8. UKMTO reported that a vessel was struck by an unknown projectile approximately 18 nautical miles east of Kasab, Oman. A fire broke out but was extinguished, and the vessel and crew were reported safe. The latest reports come amid continuing military tensions around the Strait of Hormuz. The strategic waterway has faced repeated disruptions during the ongoing U.S.-Iran conflict, with commercial vessels facing attacks, warnings, and threats as both sides contest control of shipping routes. Iran has previously warned vessels against using routes it considers unauthorized, while U.S.-backed maritime operations have sought to keep commercial traffic moving through alternative corridors near Oman. Previous incidents in the region have involved tankers and cargo vessels being struck, damaged, or forced to change course. The United States has also carried out retaliatory strikes against Iranian military infrastructure as tensions have escalated. If the latest tanker strike is confirmed, it could represent another major escalation around one of the world's most important oil shipping choke points. For now, authorities are expected to assess the reports and determine whether a vessel was actually hit. The next key indicators will be official maritime advisories, statements from U.S. Central Command, or confirmation from Iranian authorities. The situation around the Strait of Hormuz remains highly volatile, and further developments are expected.
I don't don't trust Iran. Why? Are you saying I trust Iran? I'm the last person that trusts Iran. They've lied to me constantly. We have total control over the Hormuz Strait right now. They don't have control. We have total control. We own it. And at some point, maybe they'll do something and then they get blown away. But right now, we're in a very good position. We have a country that has been the bully of the Middle East for 50 years. It's really 51 if you think about it, right? We've been saying 47 for 4 years.
Just take a look at the latest headlines coming out all across the news media outlets. America is preparing for nuclear war with Russia and China as a bombshell plan is leaked. Fears of global conflict are soaring. And again, you can see the date, Wednesday, August 5th. 2026. U.S. drafts new nuclear strategy in case of regional conflict with China and Russia. The Pentagon draws up new nuclear weapons strategy for war with Russia and China. Here's another one coming out from NBC News. Pentagon drafting a new U.S. nuclear strategy in case of a regional war with China or Russia. Sources are saying Pentagon eyes tactical nuclear shift to detour China and Russia without global escalation. This is all just starting to pour in today. The Pentagon is developing a new U.S. nuclear strategy in case of a regional war with China or the Russian Federation. And U.S. said to plan shifting nuclear strategy to China and Russia, coming out 11 hours ago. Now, this all comes as more than half of some of the U.S. weapons stockpiles used in the Iranian war, raising concerns about the Chinese threat. We're hearing strategically that the United States has lost a lot of its defense missiles, its arsenals, its munitions, and this is the ideal time for a potential conflict with the United States as we're running low. We're hearing these warnings coming out regarding China. Now, in addition to that, we're also hearing with the conflict with Iran that things are continuing on, and a new state has just been announced today hit by cyber attacks. New Jersey has been identified. 2 New Jersey municipal water systems targeted in cyber attacks. Iran remains the prime suspect in the cyber attacks, according to sources. And Iran used the water hacks to intimidate, not to cripple, experts are saying, sending a message to the United States regarding this conflict. But like I said, the main headlines coming out today is the concern as the Pentagon is releasing this information that they are beginning to focus on the potential for nuclear attacks, shifting specifically with concerns about conflict rising with Russia and China, and concerns about the United States' readiness for nuclear war, trying to detour things from going that